What's going on, guys? This is Jordan Miller. I'm the owner and founder of Breathe Heavy, and welcome to this emergency live stream. I wasn't planning on doing one today, but all things considered, with Britney's new posts, we have a lot to talk about, and we're going to dive right in. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for watching. It's greatly appreciated. If you haven't already, please make sure that you smash the like button and that you subscribe to this channel and that you leave a comment during the live stream if you're watching, or if you're watching after the fact, please still drop me a comment, and I'm commenting back to 100% of the replies that are left there. Any engagement with this channel is greatly appreciated. It helps me reach new people, and then I can continue doing these live streams for you. So let's dive right in. The main subject of today is Britney's actually two posts. And while I was creating this show, she actually posted about Jamie Lynn, which I do want to talk about as well. But the focal point is her post about TriStar and Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill. We have a lot to talk about. I'm just gonna get right to it. Let's play that. Let's play that intro. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly check the comments, make sure you can hear me because I'm using a little new microphone because the last one was not the vibe. So seemingly everyone can hear me. Let me know if you can't. Drop me a line in the comments. So, like I mentioned, Brittany seemingly out of the blue posted a really um, explosive caption on Instagram, and her sights are set on Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill. So what I'm gonna do, that I've done in the last few live streams as well, is bring up Exhale and show you the post that resides there. In case you don't know, Exhale is the forum component slash community component of Breathe Heavy. Breathe Heavy is a pop music news slash Britney Spears community that I founded in 2004. It's gonna be turning 18 years old this year, which is wild to me. So I'm going to bring up Exhale for these stories. I have a couple that I want to share with you today, and just kind of take a look at some of the comments that are in these topics. If you haven't already, please register. You'll be joining a really amazing community of people. It takes less than 30 seconds to join Exhale. Um, and links to all these stories will be in the description. So if you want to sign up, it'll be super easy. All right. So the first story we got, let me pull this up here. All right. So what you're looking at, this is Britney's post, and this actually is very reminiscent of a post that Britney did. I'm sorry, a photo shoot that Britney did back in 2007 for Allure magazine. I'll show you those photos in a second. From what I gather, this actually is not a photo of Britney, um, but it does kind of, it looks like it to me, and I think other fans agree. So the photo itself says, "Your self-respect has to be stronger than your feelings." Anytime Britney uses the word stronger, I think low key we're all here for that. So I'm going to read you the caption in case you have no idea what I'm talking about. This is what Britney said. "A week before they sent me away to that effing place." So um, I'm going to interject actually here and there when I read this caption so I can give you a little backstory in case you don't know. What she's referring to is a mental health facility. Back in 2019, Britney was sent to a mental health facility against her will and was held there, and all of these abusive kinds of behaviors and things happened to her. I'm sorry, abusive situations happened to her against her will, and she was given medication she didn't want to take, and her family was seemingly, according to Brittany, all in on this, or at least, at the very least, most of them did nothing to help her. Obviously, her father, Jamie Spears, who was her conservator, was one of the people putting this in motion. Okay, Brittany goes on to say, TriStar invited me to their offices. The swanky suited up so nice with their quote, "We're here to make you feel special." I had lunch with Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill. Now, Lou Taylor is Brittany's former business manager. There's a million videos about Lou Taylor and just her alleged corruptedness. She personally sent me 2 cease and desist in the past. I believe it was last year, just because I was speaking out about her and she didn't like either the truth or the tone of it. I guess it was the alleged truth because I'm not trying to get into any more hot water. And Robin Greenhill is Brittany's former assistant who handled a lot of the day-to-day stuff in Brittany's schedule. You guys hear me? Oh my gosh. Well, I don't even know what to say. I'm hoping that um maybe I should start this live chat over. Oh my goodness. All right. Let me try this again. Okay. I'm an idiot. All right, what's going on, guys? This is Jordan Miller. I'm the owner and founder of Breathe Heavy, and welcome to this latest live stream again. I'm gonna get right to it because obviously the audio is not working, and I'm mortified. So if you can hear me now, okay. So you can hear me now. So, all right. You know what? This calls for another intro. Let's play that intro. Okay, so everything I just said you couldn't hear, so I guess I'll just kind of pick back up where things started. I appreciate all 100 of you still sticking by me and being very patient. I don't know how to use the internet yet. Okay, so the first story that I'm going to talk to you about is Britney and her Instagram post slamming Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill and threatening to sue TriStar. And what I'm going to do is pull up Exhale and show you the story again because I flopped. And 1 second here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is actually something I was going to show you in a second. This is photos of Britney's from her 2007 Allure magazine photo shoot. And it's very reminiscent of the post that she did that I'm going to show you now on the first page of Exhale. In case you don't know what Exhale is, it's the forum community component of Breathe Heavy. It's something I started back in 2004. So it's crazy to me that Breathe Heavy is going to be 18 years old in June. And this is Britney's post. So this is where the photo that I got kind of was inspired by. It says your self-respect has to be stronger than your feelings. Okay. And I'm laughing because I went through this whole thing and I was all fired up, and I'm going to do it again for you though, because I think it's important. Okay. So this is the caption Britney wrote, and I'm going to interject here and there throughout. So she said, a week before they sent me away to that effing place, TriStar invited me to their offices. Now, what Brittany's referring to is the mental health facility. She was put in this mental health facility against her will back in 2019. And some of the key players with this were Robin Greenhill, Lou Taylor, and her father, Jamie Spears, allegedly. I say that like that because Lou Taylor sent me multiple cease and desists. Jamie Spears sent me a cease and desist back in the day. So just trying to cover myself here. Brittany goes on to say, the Swankies suited up BITCHs, so nice with their quote, we are here to make you feel special. I had lunch with Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill. They said, Brittany, look at your picture on the wall, with a huge black and white framed picture in the hall of their office. Kate Beckinsale was there too. They sucked up to me and made me feel special. Right. Ha, those same BITCHs killed me a week later. My dad worshipped those two women and then would have done anything they asked of him. I think they were trying to kill me. I still to this very day believe that's exactly what they were trying to do. Now, it's worth mentioning that Britney's said this on several occasions, including her testimony back in June. And obviously, that's a very harrowing and just horrible thing for anyone to have to live with, let alone our pop queen. And it reminds me of, some other very famous people like Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston. They kind of get wrapped up in these teams of people, this web that they can't seem to escape, and they get taken advantage of. And it's like it appears that these kinds of people want the celebrity or the superstar to have their star dimmed, and it's a very polite way of me saying the horrible end. And so it's just in hindsight, I'm very grateful that Britney's been able to escape from people like Robin Greenhill and Lou Taylor. Anyway, Britney goes on to say, not a damn thing was wrong with me, and I didn't die. Nobody else would have lived through what they did to me. I lived through all of it, and I remember all of it. I will sue the SHIT out of TriStar. P.S. They got away with all of it, and I'm here to warn them every day of my precious life. So one thing that I had mentioned that I want to talk about is this notion of these characters that were part of the conservatorship and just everything that went down. No one's been held accountable just yet. I'm sure that's something that Britney's current attorney, Matthew Rosengart, is working on. But Lou Taylor, Robin Greenhill, Jamie Spears, Sam Ingham, which was Britney's court-appointed attorney for many, many years, who seemingly did nothing. Judge Reva Goetz, who put Britney, who signed off on the conservatorship in the early days. None of these people have had any sort of like sanctions or anything done to them. In fact, Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill were taking selfies together at the Super Bowl like 2 weeks ago. So I can understand that Britney's just like livid and like wanting justice. I think a lot of people are switching from hashtag free Britney to hashtag justice for Britney. I'm going to take another look at the comments to make sure that y'all can hear me. I think you can now. Honestly, I'm super embarrassed, but you know what? We're going to keep it rolling. Things happen, and it's still in the very beginning of my live stream journey. So just forgive me. Just know that I'm going to hop off this live stream and smack myself because I can't. Okay, so in the comments of Britney's post, we have Felicia Culotta, who is Britney's former longtime assistant, personal assistant, and Felicia and Britney have a very interesting like relationship from the outside. It appears that they aren't in communication, and we know that Felicia is in communication with Lynn Spears, Britney's mom, and Britney has very publicly dragged her mom, basically saying that Lynn appears to be one of the masterminds behind the conservatorship in the first place. And so I'm going to show you this comment here. And where are we at here? Give me one quick second here. I'm all flustered now. Well, it doesn't matter. Here's the comment. Oh, Britt, I'm so proud of you. Speak out really loud. My friend, I love and miss you. One day we talk. So that to me appears like sounds like they're not talking. This comment was on Britney's Instagram. I saw it myself, and when I went to look back for this live stream to show you, I actually couldn't find it. I don't know if it's because it got buried or she ended up deleting it, but I would imagine it just kind of got buried. So I thought that was interesting because Felicia's also done a series of interviews on some of these bigger documentaries, like the one for the New York Times. She was in Britney versus Spears on Netflix, which I was also in, so check it out on Netflix. I know they're raising the prices, so hurry. So I hope that one day they can reunite. Felicia seems like she has a really sweet heart, and she's been ride or die for Britney since day one. I don't know the dynamics behind the scenes and what Britney, is feeling, but hopefully they're in a good place, or hopefully they can get in a good place. So might as well be transparent with you and just say I just turned on the ticker here for you to leave a comment. I'd love any engagement. Especially after that little fail that I had. I'm feeling a little low right now. So any comments that you can kind of drop me, lift my spirits right now, would be greatly appreciated. And I'll bring some of these comments on during the live stream. In fact, we can kind of take a quick little look here and see what we got now that the audio is back. Michael says, I'm waiting for some accountability. It's terrifying when people who commit high crimes don't get held accountable because you don't know what else they're going to do. That's a really good point. Lou Taylor, from what I gather, still represents the Kardashians, for example. I believe she represents Mary J. Blige, who was just performing at the Super Bowl, which is why I think Lou Taylor was there. I try not to keep tabs on Lou Taylor, to be honest, because she kind of just like brings me down. She's like a bummer for me to think about her. So I just try to like out of sight, out of mind. But because I'm so immersed in the world of Britney, I end up seeing a lot of things. So I agree. I think it's like we need some accountability for this, for what she's done, and curious to see how that's going to go down in the court of law. Linda Ford says Britney needs to follow it up. They didn't really deserve everything of her. Now I want her to get justice. All right. I'm getting a lot of really nice comments. Adriana hears me. Appreciate that, Jeremy. Things happen. Yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up for me right now because I'm just like, oh my God. All right, we're going to keep it moving. I'm going to let sleeping dogs lie. Okay. So someone else who commented on Britney's post is Tish Yates. she actually recently reached out to me to clarify something I had said on Breathe Heavy. So, hi Tish, if you're watching this live stream before or during or after the fact, and I want to show you the post that she did that she left on Brittany's Instagram. It's very heartfelt, and I really feel for her too. She did an amazing job, and I had my own experiences of Brittany's team kind of gaslighting me here and there, and it sucked, So here we go. Okay, so this is Felicia's comment that I was trying to find earlier. Hopefully, I can find real quick. Oh, here we go. It's on this one. This is going great. Okay, here we go. All right, stick with me, okay? I'm bringing this plane home. All right, so here's the comment. I'm going to read you it really quick because I think it's worth your undivided attention. So, by the way, Tish is Brittany's former. You know what? She told me her title before because I said the wrong thing. She was wardrobe stylist, is what Brittany the Stan is saying. I'll clarify in the comments after the fact. She reached out to me, was like, and she wanted me to kind of say her correct title. Okay, Brittany, I stand behind the statement 1000% and know for a fact you are absolutely correct. From the way that us moms on tour or residency with you would ask Robin if you wanted to come hang, she would say, "You said absolutely not." I would see you the next day and we would talk about our day off, and Robin would tell me that you wouldn't remember saying no, so don't bring it up. Not that I would have, but I just knew that the way we talked, you didn't say that. It was all effing mind game that they loved and enjoyed. That's one out of a million things we know that. I do believe they wanted to kill you too. I swear to it, when we heard you went to that place and none of us could figure out why, I thought it was crazy for having dreams that Robin would call me all proud to tell me that you died in that place. In her, I told you so voice. Gosh, Mama, you were the only person that could make it out alive. You are so strong, and I'm so glad you had Sam and a couple people that were close enough to you to figure something out with you. I do not understand how anyone's still working with them. They are the worst humans I've ever met, and I do not care if they blacklist me in the industry. I would never want anything to do with them or anyone that associates with them. So I've heard also just over the years of instances like that from other people too. Not that I can personally corroborate everything she's saying, but I do believe her. And I have also personally heard other people say that there were times where Britney wasn't told the full truth, and she was basically either lied to or whatever. And they're making it seem like she's alone. It's like this really abusive, horrible way to like emotionally control someone. It's emotional abuse. To basically be like, look, your friends, they didn't reach out and all that. So that's just a horrible thing. And I feel for Tish too. It's like being on the other end of it. It's like, that's tough to also be in the same, orbit as Britney and seeing things in person and feeling like there's this wall up. It's just not right what they did. And, the fact that there's still just no justice quite yet, I do think it's coming though. As I say, the gears of justice turn slowly. So stay tuned for some justice. Okay. There's a tweet also that I wanted to point out. As you can see, my banner is very professional. And I just found it interesting. Someone commented it in Breathe Heavy. And it was a tweet. It's now been deleted, apparently. But this is from Britney's Twitter account from years and years ago. And it said, "Yes, that is right. Lou Taylor, you do step up every single day. And so do so many other ladies in the music business. Thank you for this." I'm pretty sure that this was like Lou Taylor's sponsored, like, I don't even know what you call it. She got like an award for variety or something like that. And like basically allegedly used Britney's money to pay for it. So anyway, I just found that to be like just so cringe. It's like when we know for a fact like Britney didn't write that tweet, and it's just all like a manipulation. Like being a Britney fan all these years, like we've been manipulated so much. I can't speak for everybody, but I can personally speak for myself. And like I personally felt gaslit for so long that I'm like, not that I'm still like processing everything, but like I look back and like there were so many times where I felt like am I hurting Britney by speaking about the conservatorship? Like, should I not be speaking about this? Like, I have no way to know. It's just like a gut instinct. I would feel even in like some social settings in my real life, like feeling like I'm this weirdo who's like got this Britney site, and like, just my own insecurities were kind of magnified throughout all this. So I don't know, make of that what you will. I guess I'm just trying to wear my heart on my sleeve here a little bit and share kind of my own 2 cents with this. But I found that tweet to be like, oh. All right. Last but not least, for this emergency live stream that didn't go according to plan, Britney posted about Jamie Lynn again. And I found this to be a little bit surprising just because I kind of thought those tides had sort of like calmed down, but they haven't. And Britney's still processing, her grief over Jamie Lynn's book. And maybe this is Britney's like subtle way of like kind of like nodding to that she's releasing a book. So this is the post, and it's a flower. It's a high heel, engulfed in flowers. And I'm not going to read the entire caption for you, but I will read you a couple pieces here and there that I think the whole thing actually to me is very like interesting to unpack. All right, I'm just going to read it. I'm sorry I called you scum, and just FYI, in case you don't remember, like Britney called Jamie Lynn scum, and then she like kind of took it back, but then she called her scum again. So Britney's like, I'm sorry I called you scum, but why did you lie about when I went home? Or when I went home, it's like you're going out of your way to lie about me and make me look bad. And if I wasn't your sister, I would believe everything you're saying in your interviews because you're actually believable. It's scary. You and Dad pushed me in the corner about my broken foot. And by the way, Britney broke her foot like in, I think 2020. And she had like a cast, and she actually shared a video of it like snapping. And it's actually a sound I wish I could low-key unhear. All right. She goes, I felt ganged up on and said, shut the F up. I never stick up for myself. So you were shocked. All you said was Dad was poking at your foot. I never touched you. I wonder if he, when she's just poking at your foot, like physically, like was he literally like poking her injured foot, or was it just more like metaphorically, like he's like trying to rile her up or say she's faking her? I don't even know. Either way, it's all bad news bears. You then went into the closet and screamed like a drama queen for like an hour. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. And I was confused. Aren't I supposed to be the one screaming? I never screamed at you in front of anyone. What you don't know is that when you were screaming and yelling in Mom's closet, one of the kids came out and said to me, you need to go say you're sorry to Mama. For what? I didn't do anything. Let's not even start about how you would never let me hold the baby. And that's me. When I read that, I was like, that's horrible. Like that all happened. Jamie Lynn gave birth. I'm assuming she's talking about her firstborn. And that was all around the time the conservatorship was put into place and all that. It's like just like her family treating her like she's just some like monster for just trying to like deal with going through a divorce, having 2 babies back to back, postpartum potentially, being stalked by 50 men with cameras all the time, going through all these legal stuff, like just being extremely famous. Like, all right. So she goes on to say, Mama's mouth dropped because you would never say anything. You would just yank her out of my arms. You acted like you owned that household, and I'm sorry you were too much. I know Dad has taken a back seat because he doesn't do the conservatorship anymore. So I guess you're feeling that your little sassy ass can boss them around. But I'm here as your older sister to keep it real with you and put you in your place. You have the right to tell your story, but honestly, the timing, right when people are just counting down the seconds until I do something wrong, you come out and literally say hurtful things about me lying. That's being so unsupportive, and it's kind of insane. I'm honestly wondering if this is all a joke and you're testing me because this is so far from you, it's not even funny. And then my final thoughts on this part. I love that Britney's like keeping it real. I think because there's just been that's just been missing from this whole saga for all these years. It's just very like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at kind of thing. I feel like I've been looking through like one of those prisms, that you turn and look at different parts of the light and you're seeing different things from compared to what everyone else is seeing. So love that she's keeping it real and authentic. I personally have gotten a lot of people in my own life to be like, what do you think about Britney's posts? And she doesn't, I don't think she sounds like so good or whatever. And I'm like, my response is always like, she hasn't had this opportunity to like speak her 2 cents in so long. Like, good for her. I think she should share what's on her heart and on her mind. So Found that to be really interesting. I'm curious to know if they're going to be able to mend their relationship. I hope so. Honestly, I really do hope so. Sometimes I wonder, if the mirror is just too broken, it's just not possible to put back together. I think once you kind of break someone's trust, uh, there's it's really hard to come back from that. It can happen, and their family and their sisters, and who knows, maybe there can be some sort of like healing done. Um, but I just think as how things are right now, it's not looking good for them. And I do also want to say that I do respect Brittany for saying, like, look, you have the right to tell your story, but honestly, the timing is not good. 100% agree. That's something in my other live streams too that I was mentioning. It's like I think that Jamie Lynn should be allowed, feel free to express herself, but like not like 2 months after the conservatorship's done, like not before Brittany's had the chance to do it. And so then I'm sure Jamie Lynn's stance is like, well, I don't want to have to wait for her kind of thing. And it's like, I don't know, just kind of just like read the room. So a lot's gone down in this live stream. I'm gonna check out some of the comments. Hopefully they're all not saying that they can't hear me. Just a side note, I saw like 100 something comments coming in from the live stream, and I was like, oh my gosh, people are tuning in, and I think the majority of them were, all of them were like, we can't hear you, we can't hear you. So feel free to comment now, and if you're watching this live stream after the fact, just send me a heart emoji or something. Just know that I'm kind of dying inside because I planned this live stream last minute, and I wanted to use a legit microphone because I wanted the audio to sound good, and yeah, I didn't test it enough. So there we are. All right, gonna move on. Let me check out some of these comments. Ocean Man, appreciate you watching. You're always a watcher of these live streams. That greatly appreciated. She has so much to say. What do they expect it to sound like? People expect poetry or some grinder anthem to be born out of this, but that's not how it works. I'm assuming you're talking about Britney's captions. And agreed. Let's see. Caleb Ellis, always appreciate you weighing in. Pets and friends can be substitutes for family. Britney doesn't need them at all. I'm assuming you're talking about she doesn't need her family. And like there is something to be said about having your chosen family. But I still find it to be like a bummer. It's like even if there's justice served, Britney still like seemingly lost her family throughout all this. Like there's no winning there. So that always makes me kind of sad when I think about that. I appreciate all the comments being nice because I'm just like embarrassed. All right. Why would you want to have a relationship with her blood family after they treated her like a slave? Yeah, that's a great point. It's like, I just worry that it's going to be difficult to ever kind of mend that. Maybe some relationships aren't meant to be fixed. I hear you. Jeremy says, I hear you, but we all know the difference from right and wrong now. If they chose to use that as an excuse and cover up, then that's on them. The consequences will slowly make play. Yeah, I do agree. There is something to be said about making your bed and having to lie in it. And so we'll see what happens. There's a lot that's still, I think, going to be unfolding over the next like couple years, to be honest. And meanwhile, Brittany has like some professional obligations in the works, like namely this book. Who knows? Maybe it'll inspire her, get the creative juices flowing. Maybe she'll want to like embark on making some new music or whatnot. I'd love to be a part of that. Just throwing that out there. If you can hear this. All right, gonna check out a couple more of the comments. I really appreciate everyone weighing in and lifting my spirits. Okay. Someone talking about Tish. Yeah, a lot of the comments are just showing me some love. So I'm gonna end it here and go just tuck my tail in between my legs. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Y'all mean so much to me. And I'm looking forward to doing the next live stream. If something pops up in Brittany's world and I feel inspired to jump on the live stream, I'll make sure that I get everything situated. I really appreciate you watching. It means everything to me. These live streams are honestly super fun. Even if they don't go according to plan, you know what? I still had a lot of fun. Looking forward to chatting with you in the comments. Just to remind you, please like the video. I know it takes like an extra second, but it would greatly help my channel out a lot. YouTube will show it to more people. I could appear on people's recommended pages. So please like the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I'm hoping to hit 10,000 followers by the end of this year. I'm halfway there. So just would love to kind of have that momentum going. All right, guys. Sending you a lot of love. I hopefully won't mess up this outro. See you on the flip side. Mwah.